Hello everyone, I am B. Shobharani from the Department of Biology, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Mysore, the Temple of Excellence. Dear 2nd PUC Biology students, welcome back to Chapter 4 called Reproductive Health. The Session 1, what I am doing in today's class, Session 1 is Chapter 4, a new chapter of your syllabus, and which is one of the very important chapter of your unit 1 called reproduction. So the chapter 4 is reproductive health. Hope you remember in my last session we completed the chapter 3 of your syllabus called human reproduction. So moving on to a very interesting chapter 4 of your syllabus called reproductive health. In my today's session 1 of this chapter, what are we going to learn? We are going to learn about what is reproductive health, the actual definition of reproductive health. First, you should get to know what is reproductive health. What is the definition of reproductive health? Then moving on to the problems of reproductive health. There are a good number of problems to achieve reproductive health. Then what are the strategies that are needed to attain a reproductive health, and what are the action plans that need to be implemented to have a reproductively healthy society. All these are the important concepts which I am going to discuss in today's session 1 of this very important chapter 4 called reproductive health. So beginning with the first concept, that is reproductive health. So before we move on to understand what is reproductive health, first of all let us understand the definition of health. What do you mean by health? This is a very common word which we use in our daily life, right? Now it has become a challenge for us to maintain a good health because of this deadly coronavirus. So what is this health? How do we define this word called health? According to WHO, World Health Organization, health means a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being, not merely absence of diseases. Not just absence of disease is called health. So it is a total well-being, that is a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being, not only merely free of diseases, right? And as you all know, what is this reproductive health then? How do we define this word called reproductive health? The term simply refers to healthy reproductive organs with normal functions. So the term reproductive health means what? How do we maintain a healthy reproductive organs with a normal functioning of the reproductive organs? According to the World Health Organization, what do you mean by the reproductive health? It has also defined what is health. Now what is the correct definition given to this very important word called reproductive health? According to World Health Organization, reproductive health means a total well-being. What do you mean by total well-being? In all aspects of reproduction. What do you mean by all aspects of reproduction? That is physically. Physically we should be fit enough to carry on the process of good reproduction, then emotional, then behavioral and social well-being. So what do you mean by this definition of reproductive health by World Health Organization? I repeat once again, what is the definition given by World Health Organization? Reproductive health means what? Reproductive health means what? Total well-being. What? In all aspects of what? Reproduction, that is physical, emotional, behavioral and social. So when we come across these words, what exactly it means? That is a society with people having physically and functionally normal reproductive organs and normal emotional and behavioral interactions among them in all sex related aspects is called reproductively healthy society. Reproductively healthy society. As we know, man is a social animal. We live in a society. So we need to take care of all the parameters in a society to lead a very important reproductively healthy society, right? Now, moving on to the next part of it, that is, as I said, India is the second largest populated country and need to come across millions, or you can say many challenges. So India is the second largest populated country where it has to come across many a challenge, countless challenges. What are the countless challenges which India needs to face? India needs to face what? Basic education, then health, then housing, then clothing, then employment, then early marriages, lack of awareness about reproduction, then ineffective care of mother and the child. So all these are the challenges which our country India is facing. As I said, India is the second largest populated country, coming across countless challenges like basic education, like health, like clothing, that is housing and clothing, then employment, then lack of awareness about reproduction, then even traditional customs, and also the like low standard of living and ineffective care of mother and child. So in order to overcome all these challenges, our country India has come out with certain programs. So one such program is RCH. As I said, India was amongst the first countries in the world to initiate action plan and programs to achieve what? To attain reproductive healthy society, which was the social aim, right? So our country has come out with certain programs in order to implement or to attain reproductively healthy society. And like we have improved programs are currently implemented under a popular name called RCH. So improved programs are currently implemented under a very popular name called RCH. How do we expand this RCH? RCH is nothing but reproductive and child health care programs. What are these? These are the improved programs which is implemented by the government organization to attain what? Reproductively healthy society. So what are these? These are the programs covering what? Wider under reproductive related areas. That is, all the reproductive related areas are in operation by this RCH. One such program which is implemented under RCH is also family planning program. So what are the important tasks of RCH? As I said, India is the second largest populated country which has to face countless challenges like the basic education, then clothing, housing, employment, then early marriages, then lack of knowledge about awareness about reproduction, then traditional custom, low standard of living, ineffective care of the mother and the child. So all these problems need to be solved. So how are these problems solved? All these problems are solved by implementing certain improved programs under the popular name called RCH, right? So what is RCH? Reproductive and child health care programs, which will mainly, what are the important tasks of RCH? So one such important task of RCH is what? As I said, the family planning program comes under this RCH program, right? What is the task, very important task of RCH? Creating awareness among people about the various reproductive related aspects. As I said, like one child norm or two child norm under the family planning program. So how to overcome all the diseases that are related to reproduction is one of the tasks of RCH. Not only that, RCH also aims at providing facilities and support, and this facility and support is provided to the society to build up what? To build up a reproductively healthy society. Facilities and support is also equally important to make the society reproductively healthy. So all these are the aims or the tasks of RCH. What is RCH? Reproductive and child health care programs. What are these programs? These are all the improved programs currently in operation under the popular name called RCH. And one such program which is working under RCH is family planning program. So as I said, these are the programs which are covering wider under reproductive related areas. So what is the first very important task of RCH? Creating awareness among people about various reproductive related aspects. Secondly, to provide facilities and support for what? For building up a reproductively healthy society. You can see in the picture, right? So you can see how the parents are quite happy with a single child. That is what is the aim of the family planning program. Smaller a family, better the life will be. Like hum do, hamare do, or hum do, hamare ek is the slogan implemented by the family planning program, which I am going to discuss in the next slide. Now, what are the problems of reproductive health? So far we have understood the definition of what is reproductive health according to World Health Organization, and also we have come across what are the very important task of RCH, right? Now let us discuss the problems of reproductive health. What are the problems? Why we are not able to achieve a good reproductively healthy society? It is because, let us discuss one by one, right? What is the first problem that our society is facing, not able to achieve a good reproductive healthy society? Lack of awareness in people about reproduction. So many of the people hesitate, or this word called reproduction is having a social stigma. People hesitate to talk about this word called reproduction. Maybe that is a reason why people are not aware about what is reproduction, what are the reproductive organs, what is the normal functioning of the reproductive organ, that is the physiology of the reproductive organs, hormonal changes of the reproductive organs. All that is lacking in the people, and that is the reason why we are not able to achieve a good reproductive healthy society. So lack of awareness in people about reproduction. Second one, lack of sex education, particularly in students and in schools. So this may not be much implemented in India, but in Western countries the sex education has become a compulsory subject, because lack of sex education in children, particularly the younger generation, particularly the teenage group people, their lack of sex education will lead them to so many complications that they are not aware of the sexually transmitted diseases like AIDS, etc. Then also they are not aware of the reproductive functioning of the reproductive organs, or the physiology of the hormone, physiology of the reproductive organs, nor the hormonal changes that is going on in the, and what are the hygienic practices they need to implement for the sexual practice. All that lack of knowledge is landing them in many diseases. So lack of sex education is one very important problem for not attaining a reproductive healthy society. First one is what? Lack of awareness in people about reproduction. Second one, lack of sex education in students, and particularly not implemented in schools, right? Then improper information about sex organs, particularly in adolescence. Particularly when we come across improper information about sex organs in adolescents and married couples. Anyhow, we are going to discuss what are the strategies for maintaining the reproductive health. First, let us discuss the problems first, right? So lack of awareness in people about reproduction, lack of sex education, improper information about sex organs in adolescents, in adults, then improper information about hygienic sexual practices. Very important concept, that is, people are not having proper information about the hygienic sexual practices, which is landing them to get infected with deadly diseases like the AIDS, or even the sexually transmitted diseases like gonorrhea, syphilis, herpes, genital warts, chlamydiasis. All such sexually transmitted diseases are being commonly infected to the people because they are not following what? Hygienic sexual practices. So they do not have a proper information, and they need to use certain contraceptions, so to avoid getting infected with the sexually transmitted diseases. Then Next, improper information about sexually transmitted diseases. As I said, they are not aware. Suppose if they don't practice hygienic sexual practices, definitely they will get infected with the sexually transmitted diseases. First, they should be made aware. So they have to use hygienic sexual practices so that they can avoid sexually transmitted diseases. As I said, herpes, then gonorrhea, syphilis, genital warts, chlamydiasis, and a very dreadful disease called AIDS. So all this can be avoided. As you know, AIDS is one such disease which is infected through sexual contact. So if they avoid the sexual contact, and if they even if they go for a sexual contact, they need to use certain contraceptive methods to avoid getting contaminated, getting infected with this dreadful disease called AIDS. And overpopulation, definitely, as I said, India is the second largest populated country next to China. So overpopulation may also be a reason why we are not able to maintain a reproductive healthy society. Overcrowded society is also one reason where we are not able to give them proper infrastructure, nor the facilities, nor the clothing. As I said, all these are the basic challenges which our country is facing. So we are not able to give them all the necessities to lead a good, happy life. Maybe that is also one reason why we are not able to maintain reproductive health. So let us discuss one by one with the picture. As I said, first one, what is the first problem? Problem, that is lack of awareness in people about reproduction. Second one, lack of sex education. Lack of sex education in whom? In students, and particularly we are not giving the sex education in schools and colleges, which is again a drawback for us not to attain a reproductive healthy society. Then what? Improper information about sex organs in adolescence. So they should know what are the reproductive, what is a male reproductive organ. Already you have studied in chapter 3, human reproduction. So what is the structure of a male reproductive system, what is the structure of a female reproductive system, what are the complications that they are going to face if the organs are not functioning properly. Physiological processes of these two very important organs is very important. So improper information about sex organs and adolescence. Fourth, improper information about hygienic practices. As I said, if they don't use hygienic sexual practices like use of condoms and other important contraceptives, definitely they'll get infected with sexually transmitted diseases. So improper information about hygienic sexual practices is one reason why our society is not able to achieve this reproductive health. And fifth, very important, improper information about sexually transmitted diseases. Many of the people in our country are not aware of this dreadful disease called AIDS. As we know, AIDS is such a dreadful disease. Once if is infected, we lose the immunity. So the people should be aware of such sexually transmitted diseases. Then only they will be very careful and they will not get infected with such diseases. Next, very important, as I said, is overpopulation. Sixth, very important problem of our country, why we are not able to achieve a reproductive health, is what? Overpopulation. So all these are the problems that as a country is facing, or our society is facing, to achieve a reproductive healthy society. Right? Hope you have understood what are the problems of the reproductive health. This is a very important concept from examination point of view. So you should mention each and every problem that are faced to achieve this reproductive health. Right? Next. Moving on to the strategies of reproductive health. So far we were discussing about the problems, but how can reproductive healthy society be achieved? How is it possible? So there, for every problem there will be a solution. As you all know, for every problem will have a solution. So what are the strategies or what are the action plans that need to be implemented to achieve this reproductive healthy society? First and foremost, how do we achieve? By controlling of human population. So if we are able to control human population, how do we control? Particularly by implementing family planning programs. So this is the best way. And also avoiding unwanted pregnancy. They can avoid unwanted pregnancy. By all those measures, they can control, by controlling what? Human population is a very important strategy. Second strategy, by creating awareness about reproductive related aspects among people. So we have to make them aware of the reproductive organs, their physiology of the reproductive organs, the hormonal changes, and what are the hygienic sexual practices that need to be implemented, particularly in the younger generation. So by creating awareness about reproductive related aspects among people, particularly among the younger group, definitely we are going to achieve this reproductive healthy society. And next, very important, by giving sex education to the students. As I said, by giving sex education to the students, we can provide them scientific knowledge about the functioning of the reproductive organs, the structure of the reproductive organs, the physiology of the reproductive organs, and also what are the hygienic sexual practices they need to implement. But if all this is made aware, I think definitely, as you know, students are more curious, right? So maybe the curiosity may land them up in certain dreadful diseases. So give them the knowledge. Every parent in the house has a responsibility on their children to give them education, particularly about the reproduction, because maybe unknowingly the children may come across certain things where they may land up in getting infected with sexually transmitted diseases. So give them good knowledge, give them scientific knowledge about the reproduction, particularly reproductive aspects of reproduction, right? Next, by giving sex education to the adolescents and married couple. Why this is very, very important? Particularly for adolescents and married couple, if they give them the awareness or give them information about the birth control options, and also they make them aware of the postnatal care, particularly care of the pregnant women, care of the mother and the child after the delivery. So all this information will definitely help them to overcome all the sexually related diseases and achieve what we call it as reproductive healthy society. And as I said, particularly the bringing up a socially conscious a healthy family by a desire, by what we can call it as a with a very small family also. Like as I said, one child norm is also very, very important concept to be followed by the married couple, so that they can lead a very happy life. More number of children, it will be very difficult for the parents to bring them up. But if it is a small family, definitely the parents will be able to take care of their children, which is very, very important. Grooming the children is very, very important, not just giving birth to the child. After the birth, you have to take care of the children, give them the right knowledge, give them the right path to go, and that definitely will help them out to come out as good citizens of our country. So that is the social responsibility of the married couple also. Next, by implementing action plans to attain reproductive health. So only all these action plans should not be just in words, it should be implemented in action plans, right? All that what we are discussing here should not just be in words, all this has to be implemented. Then only we will be able to achieve a reproductive health, or we can achieve a reproductive, or our society will be reproductively healthy. So all these are the very important strategies for attaining the reproductive health. Now once again let us discuss all that what we have discussed here. The strategies of reproductive health is given here. So you can see here the healthy couple, right here they can see that. Then particularly we have to come out with good technology and strategies which will also help us to maintain a reproductive healthy society. So reproductive health can be achieved by, first one what? By controlling what? By controlling human population. Secondly, by creating awareness about reproductive related aspects among people. Next, by giving sex education to the students and also introducing sex education in schools and colleges. By giving sex education not only to the students in schools and colleges, even the adolescents also, the adults and the married couple should also be given the sex education, information, right information. Then by implementing action plans to attain reproductive health. So there are a lot of myths and misconceptions about this reproduction. So all that has to be erased. All the social evils in the society need to be removed from the society to maintain a good society, or to make a country more advanced and progressed country, right? What are the next strategy? By providing medical care and facilities to people during pregnancy and delivery. Very, very important strategy to be implemented, particularly when a woman is pregnant. She should be taken care of. As you know, what is the gestation period for a pregnant woman? 9 months. So from the time of conception till she delivers the baby, she should be taken care of. And not only that, after the delivery of the baby, both the mother and the child should be taken care. Both the mother and the child should be taken care. Even Indian government is trying its best to provide proper medical care and facility to the pregnant women and also to the mother and the child. But if you come across in Western countries, from the time of conception till the woman delivers, she is taken care of. So that, because it's a very, very important period for a woman. So when she is pregnant, she has to be taken care. The more she is taken care, the better the child will be. And even after the delivery of the child also is very, very important. Both the mother and the child should be taken care of. They should not be neglected. But sometimes even we come across the pregnant women are neglected, and even the mothers after their delivery and even the child are neglected. Many a times we see the newborn babies being thrown in the dustbin, and sometimes also we see that some pregnant women deliver the child on the road because they are not able to pay the hospital bills. So all these are the problems that women is facing. All these things need to be taken care. First and foremost, a pregnant woman should be taken care, and even after the delivery, both the mother and the child should be taken care. So one of the strategies, very important strategies to achieve a good reproductive healthy society is what? By providing medical care and facilities to people during pregnancy and during delivery. After the delivery, both the mother and the child should be taken care. Next, by providing medical care and facility to STDs. Many people would have got infected with sexually transmitted diseases. They should not be neglected. By somehow they would have come in contact with this dreadful diseases, but they should be taken care. Medically, they should be taken care. Support should be given. Then only they will be able to overcome such diseases. And even at the time of abortion, what do you mean by abortion? Expulsion of the fetus. Maybe it might be induced sometimes, or sometimes due to some health reasons it might be aborted. So during that period also medical care and support should be given, and good contraceptives should be provided to the people. Every hospital should have good contraceptives like the condoms, other like copper T. All these should be provided to the people, so which is very important to maintain a reproductive healthy society. Next, women also come across menstrual problem. Already we have discussed in chapter called human reproduction, where women has to come across a monthly menstruation called menstrual cycle, where she may come across some problems because of abnormal functioning of the reproductive organs. So that also should be taken care. Next, infertility. What is infertility? Inability for an individual to bear child is called as infertility. Nowadays, particularly in the present scenario, we come across many a male and females are becoming infertile. So what are the reasons? Many a reasons can be quoted for the infertility in males and females. Anyhow, we are going to discuss that in the later part of this session. You will understand what are the reasons for infertility in males and females. The technology and the what you can call the advancement made in the field of medical science is definitely going to help the infertile couples, right, to also to bear children. So all this has to be taken care. Right. Next, implementation of better techniques, as I said, and new strategies from time to time are also required to achieve what? Reproductive health. You might have come across a very famous oral contraceptive called Saheli, which is non-hormonal and non-steroidal contraceptive, which is developed by CDRI, Central for Drug and Research Institute. This is a very, very important contraceptive, which is non-hormonal and non-steroidal. So it will not have any side effects on the person who uses this oral pills. So such better techniques, like you need to implement better techniques and new strategies from time to time required to achieve reproductive health. If at all a woman wants to avoid unwanted pregnancy, she can go for this oral pill called Saheli, so which is non-hormonal and non-steroidal, which is developed by whom? It is developed by CDRI. CDRI, expand CDRI, Central Drug Research Institute in Lucknow. You might have come across by providing medical care and facilities. All these are the strategies which we need to implement, or the action plans that need to be implemented. Here you can see the beautiful picture, right? Such a beautiful picture, children. Here you can see the childbirth, how happy the couples are after the childbirth. And here, what do you mean by future parent? The woman is pregnant and she is taken care. She is taken care in almost all aspects, right? And here you can see how a happy family is with one child. So that is also one very important norm of family planning, that is one child nor, and here health checkup, that is you have a better, particularly when women is pregnant, if she is taken care right from the time of conception till she gives birth, then definitely we will have a healthy society. So all these are some of the strategies which need to be implemented to achieve a reproductive health. Now, next very important is the media. All of us know media. The media used to create awareness among the people about the reproductive related problems. So what are the media? All of us know that radio and the television are the best media to create awareness about this, particularly the sex related or reproductive related problems. Particularly we come across the television and the radio. Many advertisements come out with how a person can overcome, particularly when a person is infected with sexually transmitted diseases, he or she hesitates to open up with a doctor to tell that he or she is infected with sexually transmitted diseases. So later on the doctor also cannot help him out in the later part because if it is in an advanced stage, even a doctor cannot save a person. So a person has to open up if at all he or she is contaminated or infected with some sexually transmitted diseases. So that is also, that awareness also is given in the radio and the television. That is, you might have come across in television and radio telling hum do, hamare do. All these are the slogans which are quite commonly used in television and radio. Then very important is the print media, the newspaper. Definitely the newspaper is one such media which is going to create a lot of awareness about this reproductive health, how to maintain the reproductive health, and each one of us are responsible for maintaining this healthy society. It is not like one man show. So each one of us in the society have equal responsibility to maintain a healthy society. We have different means to achieve a reproductive healthy society. Only thing is we need to follow those strategies or implement those strategies or bring those strategies into action plan. Next, what are the various action plans to be implemented to attain reproductive health? One is, that is, plans required to attain reproductive health are, you have to give stronger infrastructure facilities, then professional expertise and material support. Strong infrastructure facilities and professional expertise, that is, we should have good trained doctors. For example, if a woman wants to come across with some contraception like copper T, doctor or the nurse should be expert in implementing that copper T in the female. So that means to say professional expertise and the material support. As I said, material support is also equally important to maintain the reproductive health. All the medical facilities are equally important to maintain a reproductive health. Then as I said, medical assistance and care to people in sex related problems, like sometimes a woman is pregnant, she needs to be taken care, or at the time of delivery she needs to be taken care, or he or she is infected with sexually transmitted diseases, she needs to be taken care. Then abortion, by some reason the fetus may be aborted, so in that time also the woman has to be taken care. And also the availability of the contraceptions is very important. More the availability, lesser will be the risk of getting infected with the sexually transmitted diseases. And even as I said, when a woman comes across with some menstrual problems, medical assistance and care should be given. And even for the infertility, as I said, there are many reasons to quote for infertility, maybe the lifestyle or the food habits. All these are many more reasons to quote for infertility in male and female. All these are the various action plans to be implemented to attain reproductive health. So what are the action plans? Strong infrastructure, professional expertise, material support, medical assistance and care to people like pregnant women. For a woman after, even after the delivery, at the time of delivery and after the delivery, she should be taken care, and particularly when he or she is infected with sexually transmitted diseases, and when there is an abortion, then better availability of contraceptives. Then when a woman comes across with the menstrual problems, then infertility. So here in the picture you can see all these are the important action plans that need to be taken care, right? So this picture itself will depict like what are the strategies that are need to be implemented. This you can see the technology, as I already said here, that the better the technology, better the strategies, better will be the society in maintaining a good reproductive health. So one more important concept I think I need to explain, that is about the family planning. What is family planning? Planning for a smaller family. As I said, family planning is one of the very important aim of RCH. One very important aim of RCH. What is it? It is to control what? Population. So family planning means what? Planning for a smaller family. And the concept of family planning was first introduced by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, right? And the first effort was made in Mysore. So first implementation of family planning unit was first made in Mysore. So it was first brought up in Mysore, right? And as I said, one of the very important program of RCH is what? Family planning program. So this is also one very important strategy to be implemented to control human population. So here you can see in this picture, and one more thing, first effort was made in 1915, and the first family planning unit, as I said, it was opened in Mysore, right? And it was the first governmental population stabilization program, right? Which is represented by an inverted triangle. So family planning means it is always represented by this symbol. And as I said, the RCH is one such organization which is taking care of all this improved programs like the family planning program. Hope you have understood all the concepts what we have discussed in today's session. This is a very important chapter from examination point of view. Not only that, the knowledge what you are going to get after learning the concepts of this chapter is very important, because we are going to study all the concepts, and that knowledge of these concepts is going to help the society to maintain a good reproductive healthy society, right? Hope you have understood all the concepts what I have discussed in today's session. So what am I going to discuss in the coming session? So in the coming session I am going to discuss about a very important concept called amniocentesis, which is nothing but sex determination of a child, where now the government has banned determining the sex of a child before it is born, because to avoid what we call it as female feticides or destruction of the fetus. A very important concept. Then next we are going to study about the population stabilization and birth control. How are we going to maintain a stable population, and what are the measures we take to maintain the birth control. Then we are going to study about another very important reason for population explosion. So we know what is population increasing population, what are the reasons for the increasing population, and what are the methods to control the population explosion. All these concepts are very important for us to learn in this chapter called reproductive health. Till we meet in the coming sessions, thank you, goodbye.